Okay, start na tayo, no? Let's talk about presentation skills. Okay, so ilang weeks na lang malapit na rin matapos yung semester natin. But nakaraan with talking about yung Word, 'di ba? Excel, but now we are in the presentation which is using of PowerPoint and Canva or Prezi. Pasensya na kayo sa boses ko kasi medyo ano lang, malat lang. No, recap lang tayo dito sa module na to which is presentation skills. But ito, i-recall natin yung discuss natin about sa presentation software. Okay. A presentation is a delivery of topic of an audience using a combination of speaking and visual aids. So we will learn how to create deliver presentation in the aid presentation program. Okay? It's just like sa classroom natin. When we present ourselves, 'di ba? Nagre-reporting tayo. We will use Manila paper, cartolina, or other props na gagamitin natin to become more interactive sa mga kaklase nyo. Of course, sa teacher natin, nagre-report tayo. Sinusulat pa natin yan. And karamihan nga sa mga senior high, mas creative pa sa maliban sa presentation, no? Ako, evidence yan na napaka-effort ng mga estudyante when it comes sa mga presentation. But of course, it's just a material, a physical material. But we are in the digital material, which is we are using more creative pa na more than doon sa ginagawa natin by hand, 'di ba? Lalo na ngayon. Of course, wala tayong face-to-face class. Ang mostly na presentation natin ay digital, which is magagamit tayo ng PowerPoint, 'di ba? Gumagamit tayo ng other software that will able to present to the class virtually or full online. Okay? So hindi naman siya nagkakalayo doon sa face-to-face saka sa online. So of course, mas professional din with the use of PowerPoint, presentation software, 'di ba? Ang material na lang doon, of course, for example, a prototype, 'di ba? Or meron kang ipapakita na bagay. Of course, it's a part of material na supporting mo, for example, sa itong digital na ito. Okay. Now, later on, we'll be able to discuss Prezi. Yan, medyo maano yung Prezi, no? Babalik tayo doon sa PowerPoint natin last time to explain further about presentation software. Okay? Ayan. Okay, recap tayo ulit dito, no? Ano ba pag sinabi nating presentation program or presentation software, which is na-discuss na natin last time about types of software, productivity software. Okay. Presentation program, the name implies the presentation is used to design presentation in the form of slideshow. As we discussed na kanina, sabi ko nga, tayo naglalagay tayo sa cartolina, yan yung slides natin, yan yung Manila paper. Kumbaga yung per topic dyan natin inilalagay. Pero when it comes to a program or a software, we use slides for that. Okay? Slide per slide, ginagawa natin. Ito, yung isang slide na to, ito, introduction to, itong slide na to, ito yung objective mo. Itong isang slide ay mga content, okay? Or yung mga subdivisions mo or yung mga other particular could be related to that topic that will be presented. Okay? So, kung gusto mo maglagay ng video, gusto mo maglagay ng audio clip, mas maganda. Okay? Kung ikaw face-to-face pa nga dati, di ba? Kailangan mo palang cassette tape or syempre bawal ang cellphone. Of course, media player para lang ma-play yung gusto mong may mga videos in something. But, of course, when it comes to PowerPoint, when it comes to ganitong mga klaseng presentation, hindi ka mamblema kasi computer lang ang puhunan mo. Okay? Computer lang ang material mo. Okay? Less time, kumbaga is convenience. Yung presentation, kumbaga, syempre, it implies yung clarity, yung shape, yung mga shapes, colors, yung mga type sizes natin. Okay? In computing, a presentation program or of the presentation software is a package used to display information to form a slideshow. Kumbaga dito, hindi lang siya yung magpe-present ka lang. You can use transitions, you can use animations, you can use anumang effects na gusto mo that will able to execute properly. Okay. An editor that allows to be inserted or formatted. So, yun ang makagandahan dito. Okay? Pwede ka mag-undo, i-delete mo, gusto mo mag-modify, mag-edit, walang problema. Hindi tulad sa Manila paper, Hindi tulad sa kartolina, pag nagkamali ang ginagawa, dinidiscard na natin, tinatapon na natin, or tatapalan mo ng same color ng kartolina. Pag manilapit, patatapalan mo lang din, 'di ba? Konting mali mo lang, 'di ba? Isa pang mali ang ano para natin, pag nagsusulat tayo, tabingi. Okay? Yung kala mo pantay ka na pero tabingi pa rin. Okay? Yun yung realidad. Parang nagsusulat ka sa whiteboard, nagsulat ka ng diretso, maya tabingi na. So yung mga klase mo, naka 45 degrees na pag tumitingin. Okay? So ang kagandahan dito sa digital na presentation program, it can be modified. No? Hindi ka mahihirapan. Next, a method of inserting and manipulating graphic images. Yun yung sinasabi ko. Pwede ka maglagay ng image, pwede ka maglagay ng video, kahit memes, pwede mo ilagay, di ba? Basta related sa presentation. Okay? Even tables. So, lahat ng kailangan mo available dito sa presentation program. A slideshow system to display the content. Okay. Next, presentation is the mode of delivery. It have become pervasive in many aspects. Ito kasi, marami na. Kumbaga, hindi na lang to sa classroom, but at the same time, in the profession. Okay, syempre, darating kayo sa time into your career, but the same time, syempre, magka-college kayo. So, magagamit nyo to. A training ground ang isang presentation when it comes to reporting. Okay, sabi nga, sa business communication, business planning, syempre, sa IT natin, syempre, magpe-present ka ng isang system. Sa conference, yan, sa mga reporting, political setting, lahat po ng genre ay pwede. Okay? Apply po ang isang presentation. Of course, yung mga EBM dito, it applies to their business presentation, business proposal, marketing plan, okay? Annual planning, sales, okay? Yung projection. So, yun yung ang when it comes to the ABM. Sa ICT, ano ba ang natin? Of course, nagpe-present tayo ng isang, for example, isang program. Or pwede naman din yung mga lecture, okay? Or we animate that presentation to make it magets ng mga tao, okay? At the same time, pag nagtitesis, okay, gagamit ka rin ng PowerPoint. Alam nga naman, pag nagtesis, gagamit ka naman nila paper, ididikit mo sa blackboard, okay? Hindi na ganun yon, okay? Lalo na sa stage natin ngayon, ganito na. We embrace this kind of reality, okay? What are those examples of presentation software? So, may mga paid and may mga open source. So, number one, PowerPoint, kilalang kilala, suking-suki, okay? Kumbaga, hindi ka mamubuhay ng walang PowerPoint. Okay, unless na lang, hindi mo magamit dahil walang keygen, okay? Walang batawag dito, activation, okay? So, PowerPoint, mas pinaganda ang PowerPoint ngayon. Maraming mga transitions, mas maraming mga features na nilagay, okay? I don't think so kung meron ng 2021 kasi nag-Windows 11 na tayo, but sooner parating na tayo dun sa 2021 version, no? Syempre sa atin, depende sa computer. So we can use 2013, pero ang base sa pagkakano ko, hindi na masyado yung sa ibang computer 2013, 2016, but of course, kung ano yung kaya lang ng requirement ng isang computer na MS Office, wala po problema. Okay? So, mostly 2013 pwede na. Pero kung gusto mo old school, 2007. Okay? Pero kung gusto mong man-trip lang sa buhay, pwede naman yung 1997, 2003, pero wala na masyado yon. Usually, pinakamababa na pwede yung for beginning, 2007. But, of course, since marami na kasing features and marami na kasing discrepancies within those versions, mas maganda yung mga latest version na. Okay? Google Slides. Ang Google Slides naman is, ito yung online. So, online ka maggagawa. Okay? Magagawa ka ng presentation online. So, this is product by Google. Okay? Google Slide. So, for example, may PowerPoint presentation ka, may in-upload ka sa Google Drive, you can open by a Google Slide. Isusupport naman ng Google Slide yung PowerPoint file. Okay? For example, kasi, ang kagandahan kasi sa Google Slide is online. Okay? For example, nasabay yung file mo. Siyempre, hindi mo dala lahat ng peripherals mo. So, kung nakasave naman yan online, mas maganda na ida-download mo na lang sa Google Drive and then you're able to present it by the way, or you will present it online to be more convenient them. Okay? But of course, PowerPoint as the same true din naman. Meron din silang online. Okay? But of course, they have different function. So, minimal na kasi yung function ni PowerPoint when it comes to online compared talaga sa full software when it comes to desktop. While sa Google Slide naman, ang kagandahan, kung ano yung meron sa PowerPoint na feature, meron naman din doon. Of course, yung mga kolorete, wala masyado. Pero mostly, yung mga essential na talagang kapakipakinabang ay magagamit sa Google Slide. So, they have still the cloud properties. So, WPS, meron to sa cellphone nyo. Meron din naman to. May mga pro version, may mga free version. Okay? So, same as true lang naman din ni PowerPoint at Google Slide kung ano man meron. Of course, we have difference of functions, difference of user interface. LibreOffice, yeah, kung talagang hirap na hirap ka, no? Hirap na hirap ka sa PowerPoint na wala kang mahanap na hindi ka makagamit ng PowerPoint dahil wala kang license key. So, you can use LibreOffice. Open source naman yan. So, yung function naman ni PowerPoint, ni Google Slide, hindi naman nakakalayo doon sa LibreOffice. Kaya lang, syempre, bago yung UI magkakaiba. Sa kapag nag-save ka, medyo may iba lang. Yung mga transition, yung mga animation, doon lang tayo magkakaiba. Okay. Prezi, ito madalas na ginagamit ng mga bata, yung Prezi. I never encountered yet, pero nakikita ko lang. Ito yung mag-shift ng camera from one slide to another slide. So, parang, for example, para kung nasa metaverse or nasa universe or other environment, no, na pwede mo paglaruan yung slide, pwede mo paglaruan yung gusto mong mangyari to make it more persuasive sa mga tao, which is Prezi. Okay? And Canva. Ito yung pinakabago ngayon, yung Canva. I haven't experienced it yet, but kayo baka na-experience yung Canva, no, yung mga free version, o kung may iba nga may nakakuha na pro version na mura, no, na makapag-edit kayo dito, hindi lang parang Photoshop ang peg, pero pwede din kayo gumawa ng presentation. Okay, so that's that's what we call the presentation software that we have. Okay, now, balik tayo ulit dun sa ating PDF. Ayan. So, when it comes to creating effective presentation, okay, 'di ba? 'Di ba tayo sa school, 'di ba? Pinaghahandaan natin, pinag-aaralan natin maigi. Ganoon din naman sa atin. Okay. Kasi tayo, ang mahilig tayo sa, yan, sabi ko nga sa physical materials. So, there's no problem with that. So, we have the clarity, the focus, 'di ba? Yung ano ba yung specific na dapat discuss. Kung mapapansin niyo pagka gumagamit ng Manila paper, of course, parang lahat nababasa mo. Okay? Kumbaga, you have no focus on that. Okay? Pag nakita mo ito na Manila paper 1, lahat nakadikit, 'di ba? Parang hindi mo alam kung nasaan. Okay? Paano mo sisimulan? So, alam naman natin paano sisimulan. Pero sa dami ng nakalagay, di ba, ma-i-discuss ba lahat? Okay? So, ito, sa presentation, kumbaga ito is one at a time. So, maganda rin, di ba, na gumamit ka ng PowerPoint, di ba, pagiyabang mo sa mga, ay, may laptop to kaklasiko, di ba? Pero ngayon, hindi na ganun yun. Kasi nga, syempre, lahat ng, ngayon, may mga computer na, di ba? Pero of course, when it comes to school, di ba, may physical material pa rin, meron pa rin PowerPoint. Okay. So, let's create an effective presentation. So, not to learn the basics. So, mamaya na yun. The following are some common mistakes that presentation make. So, after each one is a guide that you can follow to make avoiding the same mistake. Okay? So, may mga klase kasi sa PowerPoint na, alam mo yun, yung may mga hindi ko alam bakit ginagawa yon. Okay? Number 1, minimize. Okay. Alam, i-minimize. So, magbawas. Yun yung number 1. So, quite common is to experience presented too many slides or frames. Though it may report necessarily long, the audience may eventually lose focus and get bored. Kulang na lang, for example, binigyan ka ng teacher mo ng topic, kulang na lang, buong libro ilagay mo na doon sa PowerPoint. Hindi dapat ganon. Okay. The focus of the presentation is to discuss the main or the essential part doon sa topic. For example, sa isang chapter, it consists 20 pages. Hindi naman lahat ng 20 pages ilalagay mo. Ilagay mo lang yung pinaka-irrelevant. For example, ang topic niyan, ito, yung nila sa science, of course, solar system. Siyempre, sobrang dami nun, daming facts, daming function, features, everything. Ilagay mo lang kung ano yung the facts na talagang mas magi-interesado yung mga tao. Yung basic, yung general lang. Kumbaga yung mga, kunyari may mga deeper studies pa roon, kailangan, ang gawin natin doon, kunin mo lang yung pinaka-importante. Okay? Para lang ma-clutch lang sila na, uy, may ganun pa lang nangyari. Okay? The solution for that, na maraming slides, a few slides as possible. Kumbaga, sinasabi namin kapag ka nagpe-present kami ng defense or nagpe-present kami ng isang topic, let's get straight to the point. Okay? So, wag na nating mga flowery, maraming words, 'di ba? To make it more straight, to make it more short but straight. Okay? The most important details is to deliver the supporting details by speaking. Kasi tatandaan mo rin yung oras mo na presentation. For example, binigyan ka lang ng 15 minutes, okay? Tapos ang topic mo yung binigay sa'yo mahaba. So you have to shrink that within 15 minutes. Okay? Whether individual or grouping sa'yo, you have to shrink it that. Kasi hindi lang yung slides ang factor doon. Ang factor din natin is yung tinatawag natin yung time na ibinigay sa'yo. Okay? So, yun yung kailangan nating tignan ng maigi. Kasi, kung marami kayo magpe-present, courtesy sa other people. Diba? Na kailangan, iisipin mo rin yung oras. Okay? The audience will be easier to absorb the topic. No? Dahil nga straight to the point, dahil nga napaka-simple, madaling intindihin. Pwede mo namang sabihin, kung sobrang napakahaba, pwede nyo pupuntahan yung link niya, o pwede nyo puntahan yung ganito. So, syempre, for further study. Okay, next is clarity. Ano ba yung pagkakamali when it comes to clarity? Yeah, presentation are most always designed in computers with small screens are present in bigger monitor or projector. Tama naman yun. Kunyari, gumawa ka dito sa laptop mo, tapos papakita yan sa ipo-project yan, no? Gagamit tayo ng LED projector, no? Because of the scale, can be misjudged. Can be too small or can be too big. Okay. So, maraming ganyan din. So, sa amin, as sa IT, meron tayong tinatawag na 24 font size rule. Okay. So, may mga PowerPoint rules tayo. Of course, you use size 24, size 22. Okay. That's the safest. No? But, of course, you have to determine kung saan yan ipe-present. Kung ipe-present ba yan sa malaking LED wall, you have to adjust the font size. Okay? Kung ilang feet yon. For example, 8, malaki. Parang, for example, ay 12 feet by 9 feet. Okay. Of course, adjust mo yung text. Okay? Kapag may bullets naman tayo, make sure na hanggang 7 bullets lang. Okay? Usually, nagbubulet kami, pero, yung bullets na yon, it's simply, very simply, but not too long. Okay. Meron pang isa, no? Sa straight to the point kanina, yung sa number 1 natin. Nilalagay yung buong paragraph sa isang slide. Okay? 2 paragraphs in 1 slide. Hindi po pwedeng ganon. Tapos sa klap dito, binabasa nyo, hindi nyo naman ine-explain. So, to make it more short, diba, yung clarity and yung tinatawag nating minimize, okay? So, gawin mo na lang summary. Diba? Gawin by text, by graphics, diba? Para mas maintindihan ngayon ng tao. Kasi hindi lahat ng tao ay makakaintindi ng buong narrative, ng buong paragraph. Kahit pabasahin mo yan, ibasahin mo yun sa mga kaharap mo, aantukin sila. Pero gamitan mo ng tactic na simple text, i-bullets mo, or gawa mo ng video or graphics, di ba? Picture, okay? That's explain that picture. That's represents that paragraph. Mas maingganyo yung mga tao. Okay? So, clarity, the solution, the audience, consider the audience to view your presentation. Kasi consider mo rin yung vision ng mga tao. May tao nasa harap, tao nasa likod. Okay? Iba hindi naman nababasa. Iba may salamin, di ba? May astigmatism, may excited. So, we have to consider everything when it comes to presentation. So, yung graphics din natin, use bigger fonts or you can use small fonts kung mga virtual lang. Ito lang, computer lang ang gagamitin. No? Walang problema doon. Pero kung ipapalabas siya sa classroom, papalabas siya sa mga conferences, kailangan mag-adjust tayo. Okay? If you will be speaking to like, or just bigger fonts, yun. So, i-consider nyo yung screen, consider nyo yung audience, yung capability ng audience. So, yung clarity doon. Of course, when it comes to din sa design, wag masyadong makolorete. Okay? Sobrang kalorete, hindi na mabasa na maigi. Kumbaga, nako-compromise na yung, kumbaga, mas nangibabaw na yung design compared sa content. Okay, kailangan pa rin, pantay pa rin yan. Content and design. Okay, kailangan pa rin, pantay pa rin silang lahat. 50-50. Next, simplicity. Okay, ano ba yung misconception about simplicity? So, mistake that beginners is to write the whole report in the slideshow and just yan, yung sinasabi ko kanina. 2 paragraph, for example, ilalagay mo sa isang slide, tapos ang size pa is 18. Tapos ang gagawin lang naman, babasahin. Diba? Pag sinabi ng teacher, paki-explain. So, hindi na na-explain. So, ang ginawa na may ma-present lang. Okay? This defeats the purpose of using visual aid on your presentation. Kasi ang sasabihin na lang ng teacher mo, excuse me, ang sasabihin na lang ng teacher mo, basahin na lang natin libro, wag ka na mag-present. 'Di ba? Kaya naman namin 'tong basahin, kaya naman 'tong magets. Okay? Lalo na pagka dumating na kayo sa point, no, magka-college kayo, pagka presentation, pag tatrash talking kayo ng mga professor nyo, bagsak ka na. 'Di ba? Babasahin mo lang pala, nag-present ka pa. Okay? Kaya naman namin basahin yan. So, yung ano doon, 'di ba? Hindi na makikinig yung mga tao. Ang intention na lang yan, basahin na lang namin to. Dito naman pala, nasa libro naman pala. Ba't mo pa pe-present? Ganun lang din naman pala ang kalalabasan. So, you have to be more creative with that. Okay. Ano solution doon? Do not use your slideshow as a script. Okay? The slideshow should only contain a summary of the report and not the report itself. Use bullets, numbered lists, short lines instead of paragraphs and long sentences. Yun yan. Number 1, pwede use bullets. Sa isang slide, it should be 7 bullets. Okay? That's the rule. Okay? Siyempre, sabi ko nga, 24 font size rule, tapos 7 bullets. Lagay mo lang yung pinaka, doon sa paragraph na yun, ano yung naiintindihan mo? Okay, lagay mo lang yung pinaka-topic sentences, topic, main topic, the issues, the problem, whatsoever. Na it's encapsulates to that narrative. For example, sa paragraph yan, ang gawin mo na lang is, gawan mo ng paraan na ito ay mapaikli mo at yung straight to the point na sinasabi ko nga kanina, gumamit ka ng images, gumamit ka ng videos, na ito yung mag-encapsulate doon sa sinasabi. Para ngayon, mas maintindihan lalo. Okay? Kasi hindi lahat lang tao nakakaintindi. May iba tayo ng progress ng kumbaga yung progress when it comes to learning. May iba bukas pa papasok siya sa utak nila. May iba naman na fast learner. So kailangan nating intindihin 'yon. Okay? At maraming syempre sa klase, ang gusto na lang mag-class dismiss. So isipin niyo lagi kapag nagpe-present kayo, yung magaganahan sila. Okay? Next naman natin, visuals. Yeah. So when it comes to graphics, when it comes to designs, okay? So, it's easy to go overexcited with graphics, colors, and fonts. Too much animation, bright colors, fancy lettering distract the audience from the topic. Kumbaga, mas nangibabaw na ngayon design kaysa doon sa content. Okay. Ginagawa natin sa Manila paper, cartolina, napakagandang glamoroso. Pero pag nag-discuss na ng main content, hindi ma-explain. Kahit anong ganda ng gawa mo sa Manila paper, cartolina, mga prototype yan. Pero kung hindi naman maganda yung explanation, hindi maganda yung content mo, walang kwenta. So, ganun din naman sa presentation. So, sobrang ganda ng design na overpower tuloy yung content, na compromise. O maganda yung design, pero pangat yung content na nilagay mo, wala pa rin kwenta. Okay? Always make sure, kung gagamit kayo ng mga slides, animation, kung saan lang lulugar. Kumbaga parang sa atin, sa bilang tao, meron tayong limitasyon. Hanggang dito ka lang lulugar. So, ganun din tayo with sa pagpe-present. Kailan magagamit ng animation? Kailan magagamit ng effects? Kailan magagamit ng transitions? Okay? To make more professional, less use of transitions. Saan lang tayo gumagamit ng transitions? Kung medyo may part lang na medyo may usually fade nga lang yung pwede. Kung gusto medyo plain na transition, usually, gano'n lang naman. Pero kung gusto mo maraming animation, of course, check your audience. Kung professional ang natin, kung pang business yan, of course, kailangan appropriate when it comes to transition, appropriate when it comes to designs, that never compromise to the people. Kung mga bata yan, wala problema. Maglagay ka ng maraming kung ano-ano dyan. Okay? So, know your audience also, the topic also. Marami tayo dapat i-consider with that. Okay. So, use simple elements. It's okay to animate your slides and customize your text as long as it's easy to read and not distracting. So, na-discuss naman yung graphic design last time. So, let's take the consider the colors. Let's consider the text. Okay? So, marami. Okay? When it comes to that presentation. Okay, consistency. May si consistency, kumbaga, nagagawa mo siya. In the sense na, yung consistency na to for the long time. Kumbaga, still, sinusunod pa rin yung ganitong guidelines na hindi nako-compromise. So, mistake that usually made those that just starting to learn the features of presentation program. The slides may end up looking different from each other. Different fonts, different colors, and assortment of non-uniform graphics. Meron din ganon. For example, ang nasa harapan mo is Arial. Tapos biglang nag-Comic Sans, biglang nag-Impact. Hindi consistent. Hindi diretso. Hindi iisa lang. From the start until to end. Okay. Yung colors din, paiba-iba. Ano yun? Parang coloring book ang dating nun. Parang children's book, 'di ba? Tandaan nyo, sabi ko kanina, know your audience. Know what will be the scope ng presentation. Okay? Kailangan, kung isang font lang. Kung magdadagdag ka ng another font, it should be supported to the main font na gagamitin mo. So, yung mga fonts, hindi rin basa-basa gumagamit ng fonts. Okay? Baka mamaya ang business presentation, ginamit mong font pang kasal. O ginamit mo pang cartoon. Kung pambata ang mismong audience mo, gagamit ka ng cartoon. Okay? Kung gagamit ka namang pang presentation, minsan lang tayo gumagamit ng yung mga Roman fonts. We use Gothic fonts. Kumbaga batawag dito sans serif fonts. Okay? So, just to know more about fonts na sinasabi ko, you can type on Google about fonts. Okay? So, bagi ko by the colors. Alamin niyo yung primary, secondary, yung mga combination of colors, contrast, okay? Yung saturation. Okay? The solution for that, for it comes to consistency, dagdag lang natin, yan. Plan your design right from beginning, stick throughout your presentation. Most presentation allows you to set the default look of every slide. Use this feature to keep your design uniform. Okay, yun. With the certain topic, gumawa ka ng uniform. For example, yung ginagawa ko presentation. So, napapansin nyo, isa lang font. Okay? Very uniform. Kasi ang purpose is makita nyo yung detail. Makita nyo na may pictures. Ito, naglalarawan. Diba? Hindi lang basta text. Kung may table man, mas maintindihan. Diba? Dahil ang audience natin virtual. So, yung font ko, hindi tama lang sa laki ninyo. Of course, sa cellphone pa, yun pa yung major struggle dyan. Pag sobrang liit naman dito sa laptop mo, mas maliit pa sa cellphone. Okay, so may mga ganon. Okay, so yun yung mga dapat na i-consider. Okay, and lastly is the contrast. Contrast is, the mistake natin is, colors simply do not match. A mismatched background and font can be rendered the text unreadable. For example, black yung background. Ang nilagay mo color gray. Yung text color gray. So, tingin mo ba nababasa? Yung mga malilino ang mata, mababasa pa. Pero yung mga malalabo ang mata, hindi na mababasa yun. Okay? Yun yung sabi ko. Consider with that. So, make sure the good contrast with your background. Use dark background with light text. Ganun lang yun. Parang yin-yang. Okay? Pag black ang background, puti ang text. Okay? Light ang mga complements. Pero kung light yung background, ang complements mo ay dark. Ganun lang yon. Okay? So, kung black and white pag-uusapan, what about other color? Okay? Tignan mo. Okay? For example, ito na lang, blue. So, kung blue, whether white ang gagamit, blue, syempre maraming variation. Light blue, baby blue, powder blue, dark blue. Of course, kung dark blue version, anong gagawin mo? You can use powder blue, light blue, or white. Mas safer. No? Hindi pwedeng yung turquoise that kulang na lang, malapit na dun sa kulay ng dark blue or navy blue. So, let's take a consideration with that. Diba? Na tignan nyo maigi kung mababasa ba. Lalo na pag pinalabas sa malaking screen, pag pinrint na yan, kunyari yung PowerPoint, ipiprint pala, yun, take consideration. So, the CFS is black and white for that. For the, no, for example, may mga compromise sa colors, green, yan, light green. Minsan, magba-black, kailangan natin mag-black, kailangan mag-dark, no? Mag-dark green or olive green. Pero pinaka-safest is black and white. Okay? So now, we'll take a demo for the Prezi muna, no? Video tutorial after ng Prezi will be the MS PowerPoint. And after that, we'll be able to dismiss the class. Okay? So, nito, papakita ko lang yung yung ano natin when it comes to Prezi. Paano ba yung Prezi? Okay?
Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new tutorial. In this video I will be showing you how to use a website called Prezi, and if you haven't heard of it, what it is a zooming PowerPoint presentation type deal. So this is my personal account of Prezis I've made, so I just want to show you what all it can do, and this is a good a little example. I'm just going to click through it really fast. This is a project I did for a worldview class on Lord of the Rings with a couple friends. So what it allows you to do is zoom around a background picture or a color and move around. And this is basically what Prezi can do, and zoom around to help get your point across and all that. They're often used in a lot of classes anymore, as well as professional presentation situations. And it also allows you to add multiple photo layers. So when you zoom in further, you then enter a new photo layer of your background. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, you will need to go to Prezi.com. You'll click the Get Started button. Come over to the free account. When you have a free account, then all your Prezis are publicly visible. You have no control over if it's private or not. I'm going to just fill this out. Once I am done, I will click Create Your Free Public Account. Once you have created an account, Prezi will show you the basics, and you can continue editing the one they give you just for further playing around with Prezi. But to show you everything, I am going to create my own new Prezi. And then a page like this will load, and you can scroll through the ones they give you immediately. You can also look up more. I'm going to use this one. If you don't like any of the templates, you can start a blank Prezi. What they have here is a preset of where all your slides will go. You can also choose to move them elsewhere. Let's say you need more slides than what they give you, then you can add a frame just by clicking up here, and it adds it to right after whichever one you were just on, I think. But you can also rearrange the path, so if I want it to happen after it zooms out, then I can do that. I can edit the path. You can also have some form of animation happen just by clicking the edit path and then click on the star. You can apply a fade in effect, but that is the only effect they give you, unfortunately. You're kind of limited effects wise because most of the effects are from the zooming in and around and out and whatnot. So I'm going to be done editing the path. You can add text. This type of online presentation stuff is pretty easy to use. You can insert an image, you can insert symbols and shapes, you can even insert YouTube videos. You can add layouts, and they have single frame as well as multi-frame layouts to help you get the point that you want across. You can also highlight things, you can also add background music, and you can even insert slides from a PowerPoint. So if you want to upgrade a PowerPoint you just made and be able to zoom around and add a few more things, you can do that in Prezi. You can even customize the theme by clicking up here. You can also make your background a picture. You can add multiple photo layers in your Prezi. So to do that, you will come down to the advanced button. You'll come over to the 3D background and click edit. Then you can upload up to 3 photo layers. So this time I actually will use a weird picture of me. I'd rather embarrass myself. Then I will click done. In the advanced area, you can adjust the theme colors and whatnot. Once you're done, then you click done. If you zoom in far enough, then the picture changes, except I have awkwardly zoomed in on my own shirt. I zoom out and then we get the original picture that I started with. Otherwise, it is pretty simple to use and understand, and it's not overly complex. So we're going to exit our presentation. It will exit and save automatically. Let's get into the account settings. Let me go over to the profile page. If you want to add a picture, I believe it pulls a picture. You can insert a profile picture via a site called Gravatar, and I'll put a link to that down below. So that was a brief overview of how to use Prezi. If you have any further questions about how to use it, you can leave me comments down below, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to click on these red subscribe buttons to subscribe to their respective channels. And as always, I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye-bye!
Okay. So, magsisend na lang ako later. Di ba ako nakikita? Ayan. So, magsisend na lang ako later ng other Prezi. So, more on animation and slides kasi si Prezi. Okay? So, nagmo-move siya from one position to the another. Pero, ang mas gusto ko i-highlight dito yung PowerPoint. Kasi, mas yun yung magagamit natin dito, which is yung PowerPoint presentation. So, after nung tutorial ng PowerPoint, so may mga ad tip lang din ako sa PowerPoint natin. So, panoorin muna natin yung PowerPoint tutorial.
Hi there, Jamie Keat here today at Teachers Tech. Hope you're having a great day today. Today I want to show you how to use PowerPoint. So this is going to be a beginner's tutorial to make sure you can start creating some great looking PowerPoints right away. I'm going to go over the basics, how to make sure you insert new slides, how to add to the slides to get the most out of it. Also, make sure you check out my other video that I have on 10 powerful tips for PowerPoint. It's going to show you 10 quick tips with some great features to even get more out of it. I'll put the link down below in the description, or check above in the card also on that. So I do have everything time-stamped in this video, so you want to skip to different parts, again, in the description, click on that part and jump to that part of the video if you're looking how to do something specifically. So today, let's get started on this beginner's tutorial of Microsoft PowerPoint. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up my PowerPoint. I am using Microsoft Office PowerPoint 2016 in this tutorial. When I go down, I have it just in my taskbar pinned right here. But if you can't find it there, you might want to check to see if you have it set anywhere. But you can search for everything too. So if you're not finding something on your computer, you can see as I just type in PowerPoint, it will show up there. So a few different ways you can get to that or any of the other applications on your computer. So when I first open up PowerPoint, just some things that I want to point out to you. You see all these templates, and I'll explain that in a moment, and we have our blank presentation. But what I want to talk about first is over here on the left hand side. When I open this up, you can see I have a presentation that this is what I'm working on right now. I have some older ones too, so these would be the older ones that would be there based usually on the when I created them. Let's say you're working on a really important PowerPoint and you just want it always to be on the top of the list so you can easily find it when you open it back up again. Take a look at this little pin right here, so that when I click on this little pin, it will pin it to the top. You can see how it says pinned right here. Well, that means that it will always stay at the top, and I can unpin it once maybe I'm not working on that one anymore and I want to put a different one. You can just unpin it like that. So just a little tip when you're working on it. So I have all these templates, great templates. I love working with templates, saves you a lot of time. In this tutorial today, I'll be focused on the blank presentation, because after you know how to do these things in a blank presentation, you can go ahead and open a template and you'll understand everything. But at any point, you can change your presentation around to make it, you're not stuck with the template that you chose at the beginning. You can alter it and change all the details of it still, so don't worry about that. Just to point out, if I was picking a template, I would just click on it. You can see that I get options that I can pick some different colors to choose from, and then I can go ahead and hit create, and I would start with those colors. But so for this here today, I'll be just starting with a blank presentation. If you're looking for more presentations, you can see you can search online the templates right through here, and I could look through categories and just type in what you're searching for, hit search, and you're going to find even more templates to use. So I'm going to go ahead and create my blank presentation. So it opens up, I want to do a little quick walkthrough of how things are set up in PowerPoint. Across the top, we do have our tabs. So if I'm referring to a certain tab, all these ones, they look like tabs. You can click across them and get to different parts of the ribbon. So the next thing is the ribbon, which is this part right through here. So every tab will have a different ribbon to it. Everything's broken into the different categories. You can see under insert, I have things in different kind of categories inside of it, from images to illustrations to add-ons. Well, if you're, there's one more section you can take a look at. If I click in, notice if I'm under, let's say, well, fonts right here. If I go ahead, there's this little launch button here. I can click on this, and it's going to give me even more information to do some more customization, let's say, of the fonts. So whenever you see that, you can open that up. Something I want to point out, if you're ever looking for something in PowerPoint or any of the other Microsoft products, make sure you use this right up here to tell me. You can just type in what you're looking for. For example, if I was looking how to animate something, you can see right away it comes up, and it's even starting to kind of guess maybe things that I might want and gives me a few more options. But whenever you're stuck, just take a look at that, type that in, what you're looking for, and you're going to get a lot of good suggestions that will probably solve very quickly what you're looking for too. All right, so let's start by just creating a presentation, and it's going to be about the season. So I'm going to do what it says, click to add title. I'm just going to click in here, and I'm going to write the seasons on this one, spell it correctly, and put my name underneath. I'll just write my name here, Jamie. And I have a slide here. So on the left-hand side, you notice it's like a little miniature one. This is where I'm working with, and the little slide over here that will show all the different slides that are coming. Now, right away, before I make any changes to design, I want to add some more slides and show you how the present works. So what I'm going to do is add a new slide, and I can do this in a few different ways. I could right-click and add new slide right here, and I do that a lot of the time. But you can also, under Home, you can see there's new slide right here, or under insert we have new slide. So there's a few different ways you could do this. So I'm going to right click and add a new slide, and let's just start with spring, and I'm just going to type right in the top of it. I could add a list of different things maybe that I would want to talk about if it's getting warmer, and I could do a list and so on. I'm going to insert another slide, but this time I just want to show you have options on how the setup of this is. So under insert, I'm still in insert, and this would work under home too. But if you click under new slide this time, rather than right up top on it, you have some options of how you might want it already set up. You can see, so this one's set up for comparison. Maybe you want a blank one. Maybe you want another title slide, a section of your PowerPoint on here. So if I was doing a comparison, maybe I set this up if I wanted to compare fall, and over here I'd have winter, and I could do a list comparing the two different things on this one. So now I'm just going to put one more slide here, and this time I'm going to go do the same way, and I'm going to put a blank slide in here. The reason why I'm showing you a blank slide is that, so if you wanted to type anything in here, you can just go up to insert. Whenever you want to put anything on a slide, use the insert. So we go to insert, and you can see we have text box. So I could go here and click, and I could have maybe this time I'll just write spring again on this one. And now I can click off, and I can move this around anywhere I want on the page too. So if I click on it once, the lines are dotted, but if I click on the edge, it goes to a filled in line. At that point, I can do a few different things. I can move it around on it. You can use the circle to tilt if you wanted things on a different angle on it. If you wanted to work inside, you click once, and you can be changing the words in here. But remember, click on the line if you wanted to move it around the page. If I wanted it gone, since I have it selected like that, I can hit delete, and it will be gone. So if you ever want to undo what you just did, click the undo up top here and it will put it back. You can actually go through multiple steps here at a time. I could go back in history, you can see, and I can do multiple things at a time, and I can even redo to go back what I had before. Now, I just want to show you to present this, and I know this is kind of boring yet, but to actually take a look at your slideshow, at your slides, what you can do is go to slideshow right up here, and you can see I can present from the beginning. I could present from the current slide I'm on. I'm just going to do it for the beginning. Click it. And now I have the seasons. I could arrow through it on my keyboard. So if I hit to the right, I go to the right. If I hit to the left, I go back on the slides that I already have. I could use my space bar to move ahead. I could even click on my mouse and it would move ahead. Let's say you want to get out of this presentation mode, use the escape on your top left-hand corner of your keyboard, the ESC, and click it, and you'll be back in edit mode. The other thing I just wanted to point out is you can kind of change this look too. Down at the bottom right-hand corner, you can see if you wanted to start your presentation, you can start it from down here too. If I click, I'm back in presenting mode, hit my escape, I'm out. I could change it up if I just wanted only to see the thumbnails of this. I can change it back like so. Now, at any time, if you wanted to change the order of your presenting of things, you can click on a slide, make sure it's highlighted, and drag it around like so. So I could just move these around in different order. I could even delete them if I want. So if I hit the delete on my computer, on the keyboard, it will be gone. Try right clicking. I right click on a lot of things. Usually if I'm looking for something, it's going to be under the right click. Once I have that item selected, you can see where I can cut, copy. I can make a duplicate of a slide. I could delete a slide. Take a look, and you can even change your layout. So even after you've picked a certain slide layout, you can go through and adjust the layout right from there too. So if I wanted this to be the comparison, you can see how they've added and adjusted for that. So that's just some kind of the setup and just getting your slides ready. Let's get into the important part of making some great looking slides. Let me show you some quick ways to make some great adjustments to your PowerPoint. And the first one, using the slides I already have here, go up to design. And when you go up to do design in your tabs, pick one of the items up here. I'm going to go to this one right here, and I'm going to click on it. Notice what happens right here is it adjusted all of these for me. So I put on a title slide, and now it gave me a different look, and I'll click on different one that match kind of a theme on it. What I like also about doing this is they give you design ideas. You can click on different ones if you wanted a different look for each one. They'll give you an idea. If it's not there, then they don't have it. But then for something like this, if I wanted a different one, I could try different, just different ideas to get for the presentation. I'm just going to go back actually on this one because I just wanted to show you how quickly it would be. This is almost like using a template with it, but you can quickly adjust any of these or change on the fly. You can pick a different one and it won't change your content. It's just going to change the look to it. But let's look at a different way. Let's to make some adjustments to this, and let's start with just the font here. If I wanted to make some quick adjustments to the font, if you want to select something, if I go in here, I'm going to triple click and show you what happens. So I'm going to go in here and triple click. When I triple click on a line, it selects the whole line. Notice how the gray area is all selected, and it also gives me this this right here, which is the same that's in my under the tab and under the right up here in the font one. So rather than going up there each time, I can triple click, select it, and I can make changes to my font right through here. And if I wanted a different color, I'm just going to pick some colors just to be able to show you. You can see how quick you can make those adjustments on it too. So once you get those in place, so if I double click, so just so you know the difference between a double click, if I double click, or that was a triple click, if I double click, it will select the one word here. If I double click, it will select the word here, but a triple click selects the whole line on it. So making some quick adjustments to the font, let's make some quick adjustments to the background too. How I like to do this is if you're going through, you can change each background if you want or apply it to all. I right click on this. So if you're ever looking for something, again, use the tell me. I could type in background up here and you can see how it starts to go through. I want format background right here. and it pops up over here. The way I usually do it is if I right click, I just go to format background right here. But I just wanted to make sure you knew that. Tell me, it will find the things that you're looking for too. So let's say if I just wanted to adjust the background here, I could do it with a solid fill. The color is right here. So if I wanted maybe a blue like this, and you can see the font doesn't work too well with this one, so maybe I adjust it to a yellow, and that will show a little bit better on it. I could go through and use a gradient. A gradient is a nice way to maybe soften up the background or try a few different things. I can adjust the gradient through a few different ways. You can see there's the preset gradients through here, but I can change it from the type if I want it more of a radial. I could change the color of each point. So with a gradient, it's all these different things that are happening right through here. So I'm going to just pick a different one here. I'm going to pick a linear, and I'm going to adjust the colors in this one. So I can drag this a bit, and you can see how adjustment. But when I have a certain one selected, I can go through and pick a different color. I'm just going to pick this one, and you can see how it changes everything up. So I could go through and change each of these up. I'll pick a different color here, and a little bit down in the corner that it changed a little bit more. If I wanted to adjust this and bring out the corner a little bit more, I can adjust all these things here to get the look that I want. I could apply it to all the slides, or I could reset the background. So I'm going to reset the background. I don't want to use it. I just wanted to show you. Because the other thing you can do is put a picture or a fill. So if I put the picture or fill, it defaults to the texture fill that's there. But what I want to do is show you the, if you had a picture you wanted uploaded, you could go through file this way and grab it from your computer. I like searching online a lot of times. So if I go through here online, and then I can go through, and then I go, let's say if I'm looking for summer, and maybe I'll pick this one right here and insert it. Now I have this image here on it. Maybe I move my title around because I want it to be in the sky, so it just sees a little bit more. So same thing with my name here too. So just some quick adjustments to the background. The other thing that you can adjust through this background, notice on the font here. So if I have my font selected, there's text options too. Now I can go through and actually do a fill, or solid, so you can see a solid fill. I can do the gradient fills on all these. I can even put pictures inside my font. So for instance, I'll click off it so you can see a little bit more. So if I went to a gradient fill, you can see it's the same gradient that was there before. Maybe I use a preset and it changes to it. We have our pattern fill, like so. We also have our different options. Look at text effects here. So if I wanted to, I'll just go to reflection. I can adjust a reflection here to come down, and you can see right at the bottom to it. So you can do a lot of these things right inside PowerPoint to get kind of almost something like a Photoshop that you used to have to do in Photoshop, just by going through and playing with all these different options. So that's some ways to make some design changes with this. And remember, if you wanted to apply this to all, you could apply it to all, and the image goes right through, and then you could take a look at how it presents after that. But you can also go back. Don't worry about anything that you've done. Remember, you just go back and get it back to the way you had it. So let's do a few more things to get the design even better now. So let's look at a few more things you can insert under the Insert tab. I'm going to go up here, click on Insert. So remember, when you want to put something into your PowerPoint, it's going to be inserted in. Now, first of all, we already talked about some fonts, but I just want to point out word art also is another way that you can write some things in a nice looking font. And I'll just pick an example here, and I'll just write winter. And I can move this around, and you can see how it comes out in a word art form. If I increase the size of it, you can see how I can make the font larger. At any time, I can go through and click on different designs and change the text fill or have a different outline to it. So very quickly to do, just a different way to add it. And of course, you can click it, delete when you're done. So let's say you want to put some images in here. I'm just going to show you a couple different ways to do that, from uploading from your computer or from online. So if I want to get maybe some stuff that matches these pictures, let's go, I'm going to insert, and I'm going to insert a picture right here, and right from here. And I'm going to take it from my computer. So I'm just going to take this sun right here, hit insert, comes out really large white background. I can resize this here too. So I'm just going to resize it, grab the corner, drag in, and I'm going to put it just over here because this is where I have summertime. But I can also search for things right inside online. So if I look at inside insert pictures again, if you had more, you could go from there, but you can also use online. And let's say this time I want something for rain, and I'll just use these clouds here, hit insert, and I have these transparent rain clouds, so no white background on this one. Notice at the bottom, it always cites the pictures that comes from. If you want that gone, you can select the bottom, hit delete, and I can resize these ones here. At any time too, so once you put your images in, you can actually make changes to them. If I look on this one, if I wanted to make some adjustments, double click on these, and what you're going to get, it brings you to the format, but see how you can make corrections right through here. So if I wanted, if it's brighter, you can see how I can quickly make some adjustments to it just by using the different options. So you can go through and look at all these different ways to enhance your pictures. I'm just going to go back a few steps here, and I'm going to insert one more picture on this page here. I'll just go from online, and I'll just type snow, and I'll put this one right here in it, like so. And this one I'll move, and you can resize these pictures like I showed you before. The other thing is when you're working with different layers, you can also if I drag this over, notice this one is on top of this one. If I look up top here, bring forward, send to back, if I click on this one, send to back, now it's behind. So you can always change the order of your images very quickly on it. A lot of times I'll just right click on it, and you can see how you can bring to front, send to back just through there too. I'm just going to move this over to this over here. So the other thing I want to show you with your images here are these different formats. So you can easily put things in frames on it. If I click on these, you can see how you can adjust really, really quickly to get some neat looking ones. So it takes this white square, makes it look a lot more interesting. What I like with PowerPoint, what you can do is, I'm just going to undo these steps here. I'm going to get rid of the white background, and I'll show you how easy it is to do. I want to make sure this is transparent. So I'm just going to double click on this. You see over here, it says remove background. I'm going to click on this. And if I look though at it right now, it didn't get everything quite right. I want the hand to stay in these points. I can go here, mark as keep to keep, and I'll click on this. I'm just going to now mark the hand here and just put a few dots in it. It's going to grow over here a little bit more, just here. And I think it's getting better and better. I got a couple more places, maybe this one right here. And I won't make this perfect, but that's getting pretty good right here. And I got one more spot. When I think I get it the way I want, I can go ahead and hit keep changes. And now I have the transparent background. So go ahead. If you put in that white background, you can make it transparent right inside PowerPoint on this. So that's just some ways you can play with your images, enhance your images, layer them on top of each other, and make some changes to the look to it. Let's go through a little bit more, and let's look at how we can add some animation to these pictures and then transitions in between the slides. One more thing I just wanted to show you with the images is cropping. So if you want to crop an image, if you double click on the image, make sure you're under the format. Crop is over here. So if I click on crop, I can go through and bring my handles in and get it to the point where I want, or bring in the sides. And I'll adjust this a little bit. When you get to where you like, you can just click off of it and that image will be cropped. All right, so let's move over to some animation here. So I'm going to go use these images just to show you some basic animation. And I'll click on this little snowflake first. When I click on it, you need to click on it. We can go to animation, and we can add an animation in. So let's say if I wanted it to swivel. So I'm going to go over here and click swivel, and it does the swivel. Now I'm going to view this through I'm going to present it, just this slide. Click here, slideshow. Nothing's there, but when I click, it appears. So if I'm going through giving my presentation, when I click, the animations come out when I want it to. I'm going to hit escape. Let's add some more animation here. I'm going to go to, let's have this one fly in, comes in from the bottom, don't want it to come from the bottom, take a look right here, effects options. I want it to go from bottom left. You can see I can change the direction where I want it to come from. Now, this one, I'll just add one more here, and I'll just make this one pulse. Nope. Yeah, I'll leave it at that one. So I'll hit play. So this one will swivel. This one flies in. And when I click again, that one pulses. So I can also change the order. Notice that there's a 1, 2, 3 here. I can change the order of these around to different ones depending on which one I want to come first. So now if I played it again through this one, I can go through and play it, and it's going to go through in the different order. Now I like going through and hitting the present mode from there, but there is also the preview right up top here. You can see it will just go through and play it automatically for you, just the way you have everything set up. So you don't have to play it. I just like to do it with the click to test it out. All right, so let's look at transitions here. So that's what's happening in between the slides. So if I go to this first slide here, transitions is right beside animation. And what I can do is, I'm going to put random bars on, and that's the transition that it will start with. I can apply this to all. So if I click apply, those random bars go in between each one right here. But I want, let's say for this purpose, a different transition. So I can click on this one, and I'm going to go fall over, and then that was kind of a cool one. And I'll pick one more, and we'll go with drape for this last one. So I'm going to go ahead and present my slideshow. So I'm going to go to slideshow and play from beginning. So I have my transitions. You can see how we've dealt with some of the fonts, how we can make cool looking fonts here. We have another transition. We have an animation, another animation, another animation. We've changed our background color. And as I click through, another one with different images and crop. So now it's up to you to kind of change the look and get your plan of what you want. At any time, remember what I showed you before, if you go back to your design, you could just simply click on these and get a whole new design system there. And you can go through and use these design ideas to quickly adjust your presentation so it's never done. You can just quickly adjust, or you can undo it too. When you get to where you want to be, remember to be saving your PowerPoint. So if we can click up here under the save, or else you can, if I go back to file, you can see the first time you'd probably want to hit save as and save it to a certain spot. A lot of times I'll be just saving it on this PC, but you can save on OneDrive so you have access through the cloud to get through this, or you can share it with different people. So when you're saving it on this PC, I would just click and I would find a certain spot, give it a name. I'll just call this the seasons here. And then I can find the spot right in through here, the folder. I'll just leave it on my desktop for me. Hit save, and it's saved now. So this is just the beginning of the PowerPoint, to start playing around with it, to show you some of the cool things you could do with it. Take a look at that other video that I showed you about those 10 powerful tips to get a little bit more out of it. I'll have some more PowerPoint information coming out. So if you're interested, hit that subscribe button and that little bell notification so you know when my new videos come out. Thanks for watching this week, and I'll see you next time here at Teachers Tech.
So balik tayo, guys. So, please open na lang yung mga cam nyo. Ayan. Okay, so additional lang naman na tip when it comes to the PowerPoint presentation. So, yan. Open mo na lahat. Yung ibang students, please open your cam. So, pagdating kasi sa presentation, kailangan clean and precise. Okay? So, yung mga nakita natin mga basics kanina, which is ma-apply nyo yun. So, kung may PowerPoint kayo sa desktop ninyo, sa PC ninyo, but you can also use Google Slides or LibreOffice kasi pare-parehas lang naman sila. But of course, when it comes to the process of mga features, magkakaiba lang ng konti. Tulad nito, yung lecture natin kanina, kita natin, number 1, yung pagiging precise, 'di ba? Limited lang yung nilalagay natin. So nilalagay doon sa lecture na meron tayo sa module, 'di ba? Yung module na ina-access natin sa LMS, of course, we put it here but in a more comprehensive way. So kumukuha lang tayo ng konti doon, and then we add some information from the other sites that can be supporting to doon sa topic natin. So, para mas ma-explore pa tayo na maigi. But of course, hindi dapat marami kung ano yung nakalagay doon sa paragraph. Hindi po lahat. So, ilalagay mo lang yung pinakakailangan. Of course, we have the consistency of the fonts. Yung sinasabi natin kanina. Kung isang font lang yung ginagamit mo, so, from right there and then, isa lang din yung gagamitin mo. Okay, so pwede din tayo gumamit ng bullets. So in my case, ginamit ko ay per text na lang, per sentences, per first isang sentences na pinaka-importante. Okay. So kung maglalagay tayo ng image, make sure lang na ito ay hindi magko-compromise sa content natin. So ako ay more on focus on the minimalist setup. So, with no transition dahil syempre ay dire-diretso yung class. So, as you can see din yung sa ating font size. So, dahil nga ito ay set up lang natin for the laptop, PC, and mobile. Usually, medyo ganito lang din. So, makikita nyo, size 24 rule din tayo. We are complying with that the PowerPoint. But, for example, ipapalabas ko to sa projector, ipapalabas ko to sa screen, malaking screen. So, I have to adjust. So, from this na light yung font, I have to, for example, I have to bold or bigger the size para mabasa ng mas marami. Okay. So, I use pictures, tulad nga kanina ng mga icons, para makita natin yung examples. Okay? So, lahat yan, from this one, for example, ito yung tinuturo kanina. Sir, gusto ko na matanggal yung background natin. So, you take the photo, i-double click mo lang or punta ka dito sa format. So, punta ka dito sa remove background, make sure lang na mas maganda kung mataas yung nakuha yung pictures from Google para mas madali siyang i-edit. So, dito mark the areas. So, hindi mo na kailangan mag-Photoshop para lang ma-edit. I-drag mo lang yan. Yung mga points na gusto mo na magkaroon. Ayusin lang natin. So, may mga certainties na magbabalik siya. So, for example, iano na natin siya lahat. So, pwede mo mag-remove. Pwede ka rin mag-add. And then, you keep changes. So, makikita mo, nag-transparent na siya. Okay? So, balik natin siya ulit. Yan, okay. So, I'll give you one example ng isang presentation na para mas maintindihan nyo maigi kung paano ba talaga mag-present. So, ito kasi parang lecture type ang ginawa natin. Pero ito, more on ginawa ko is isang game presentation. So, kung alam ko marami kayong gamers. So, hahapyawan ko lang kayo. Excuse me. So, gusto natin creative. Of course, yung nabanggit natin kanina, number 1 yung color. 'Di ba? Dapat hindi yung content na nilalagay natin at the same time yung design is nagko-complement, hindi sila nagko-compromise. Okay, for example, ang motif ng game na ito is space. So definitely ang color ng space should be dark. Okay? Maybe dark blue hanggang sa mag-black. Diba? Kung ano yung nakikita natin from the outer space. So, they are planets, they are stars, diba? And then, may isang feature din kasi sa PowerPoint which is the hyperlink. Okay. For example, in this photo, kapag pinindot ko tong photo na to, pag pinindot ko siya, whether mapupunta sa isang slide or mapupunta sa isang website. So, for example, ito gusto ko lagyan ng hyperlink. So, let's do hyperlink. For example, this one, pupunta tayo doon sa first slide. Balik tayo. So, edit hyperlink. So, pwedeng place in this document or pwedeng, definitely, pwede tayo existing file or website. So, pwede mo lagyan ng website. Okay? For example, kung mapupunta sa YouTube, pwede mapunta sa isang YouTube. Okay? So, pwedeng i-add from email or to the current slide. Pwede yun. So, you can remove the hyperlink. Naging case lang dito sa slide na to. Ito ay gumawa tayo ng isang image. Gumawa tayo na parang button. So, of course, you can use in Canva, you can use in Photoshop. So, actually, this is our presentation before. So, we create a game pero wala na siya sa Google Play Store. So, na-expired na siya. So, we create. So, kung ano yung nakita sa application, so, niligay din namin para tumulong more interactive doon sa mga ano. Kasi the viewpoint is not just playing the game but also we are playing the game during the presentation. Okay? So, nakikita nyo dito sa part na to, kung nakikita nyo ba yung mouse cursor? Yan. So, makita nyo dyan, yan ang tinatawag na notes. So, pwede kayo maglagay dyan ng mga key points. So, syempre, hindi naman lahat kailangan ilagay dito sa slide. Ito yung slides natin. So, yung mga other key points na napaka-importante na dahil hindi na magkasya. Whether yung sa mga slide, marami na. So, pwede ka maglagay dito in addition. So, malalabas yan sa presenter mode kapag pinrojector natin yan. Okay. So, you can see, kailangan kasi we use images and we use concepts para lang talaga mas maintindihan. Kasi 'di ba meron tayong research 'di ba sa class. Research kumbaga we convert the narratives into a graphics. Lalo na sa ICT. So we have to be creative with that. Okay? Ang mga ICT hindi yan mahilig magbasa or mahilig yan more on sa usually games, graphics. So, we put it there. Okay, yung mga, syempre, may mga tao din na, syempre, naboboringan magbasa. So, we convert it into a graphic modes. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga ginamit? So, complement na siya. Okay, so, let's start with kanina hindi may napakita. So, paano ba nagagawa yung animation? So, dito yon sa animation. So, pipindutin mo lang yan. So, you're going to put, for example, this one, you're going to put an animation. So, add an animation or this part na to. So, to see the application, so, para makita natin, so, pindutin nyo to from animation to animation pane. So, as you can see, makikita nyo lahat dito, lahat ng mga slides. Yung materials that you want to create an animation within the slide. Okay. So, makita nyo din, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, you can drag and drop the position and you can change yan. Okay. Pwede dito yan. So, text animation. Pwede kayo mag-delete. Pwede kayo mag-add ng bago. So, ganun yun. Tapos, pwede yung by click ba yan or mapi-preview na yan during the slide. Okay. So, pati yung time. Okay. So, simulan natin So, we use the slideshow. So, you can see, basic lang naman yung transitions natin. Hindi kailangan ng maraming transition. So, number 1, consistency. So, maging consistent or yung isang transition na yun or isang font na yun. Kung gusto mo magbago ng isa, definitely, kung saan lang siya uugma. Okay. For example, this one. Para maduktong ko tong buntot ng isang syempre naka-separate yan. Isang slide to another slide para makita na akala mo parang nag-loop siya or parang nag-panorama. So, makikita nyo, seamless. Okay? So, we use 2 photos. So, syempre, kailangan lang ng tamang tamang tugma lang ng images. So, ito, we use this hyperlink. So, pag pinindot mo yan, definitely mapupunta yan dyan. So, we use fades. So, number 1, straight to the point lang nilalagay natin. So, kung gusto ko pumunta main menu, puntaan ko lang dyan. For example, we use, lalo na sa mga presentation, we use tables. So, you use tables as a mean na para makita natin yung projection, makita natin yung result, or makita natin yung kailangan. Definitely, kung ano lang yung kailangan, yun yung po yung ilalagay. So makita nyo dyan. Yan. Tapos, more on, yan. Skip lang tayo. So, yan. For example, mga procedure. Kung meron tayong procedure, pwede natin i-convert to this one, text and photo. So, to understand further, hindi maboboring yung mga viewers natin. Okay. So, pinahappy ko lang kayo doon sa presentation natin, sa PowerPoint presentation. Okay? So, that's all for today. That our topic na which is presentation skills. So, usually, hindi lang ngayon, 'di ba? Siyempre, pag face-to-face classes na, di ba, gusto natin yung mga Manila paper materials. But, lalo na pag nag-college kayo, you will be more using of PowerPoint presentation. Kasi yun na yung pinaka ginagamit sa lahat. Okay? So, meron pa bang questions?